Hello everyone and welcome back to Friday Chit Chat. You guys all left really awesome questions last week, or really awesome answers last week. Oh, already we're fucking up. You left really awesome answers last week to the question that I asked you. I asked you what made you feel at ease, and you guys left really detailed and lovely answers. It was really interesting to read. So thank you for answering that. But one guy left a question that kind of made me think back to something, and it made me laugh. So somebody with the username Kyle Barnes crying on his porch. First of all, I love that username. So this person answered tropical fish. So tropical fish makes this person feel at ease, it makes them feel chill, and I agree, watching fish in the little fish tanks, like, you know, swimming around, minding their own business, it's really relaxing to watch. But it made me think back to the time I had goldfish. Yeah, goldfish are completely different to tropical fish, but... So I had, well actually, we had two goldfish. One was my brother's and one was mine. My one was called Tom Fletcher because at the time I was going through my McFly stage, and Tom Fletcher was just the be-all and end-all of everything, so I decided to name my goldfish after him. My brother named his goldfish Superman. So Superman and Tom Fletcher lived very happily in harmony together. They went around the fish tank together. They probably forgot who they were every 5 fucking seconds every time they passed each other, but they seemed to be happy. But one day we were cleaning the tank and we put them into like a little bowl while we cleaned out their fish tank. And I started to notice that Superman was getting a bit aggressive. He was going for Tom Fletcher. He was fucking headbutting him. So I was like, fellas, stop that shit right now. Now, fish kind of freak me out though. Do you know the way when you pick them up in that little net thing to transfer them from one bowl to the other? Do you know the way they flop around? Oh, that freaks me out. I can't do that. So my mum had to do it. And I was like, Mum, Superman's fucking bullying Tom Fletcher. Separate them. So my mum put my goldfish, Tom Fletcher, into a different bowl and everything seemed fine until it was time to move him back into the bowl, their tank. Tom Fletcher was like acting really weird. He was like fucking banging himself off the wall of the bowl he was in. It looked like he was having some kind of fucking episode. And then there was this weird stuff coming out of his side. It looked like fluff. None of us knew what it was. Long story short, Superman killed Tom Fletcher. And then Superman died the next day as well. So it was the one and only time that I had goldfish. It did not end well. So, something I've been loving this week is a website called FML. Now this is an old-ish website. I remember loving this website when I was really young, like I was back in secondary school. And a website where people post about their day or bad things that have happened this week or whatever. And it is so funny reading people's misfortune of a week or of a day. And I know you shouldn't laugh at it because it's lousy, but like they're posting it on the internet to give someone a laugh. And it is really funny, and I was fucking weak laughing at it during the week. So I thought I'd share that with all of you. If you need a good laugh or you need a good giggle, go onto the website FML and just have fun. But it makes you feel like, hey, maybe my week wasn't that bad. And we have my typical fucking catchphrase, let me update you on my knitting. I didn't knit any scarves this week because I didn't get the chance to go out and buy more wool. If I had, I probably would have gone mad and bought a fuck ton of wool. I would have bought a fuck ton of wool. That's such a cool sentence. So I'm not finished like I thought I would be. Jesus, Mary and Joseph, what are the curls doing? They're going all over the place. Anyway, I love the way one side is curlier than the other. This side was like, woo, we're gonna go curly, and this side was like, fuck you, we want to be straight today. So I showed you last week, I did the top of it. Will you stop being so awkward and just come up to me? Anyway, so you saw that last week. There was like the top of it, and then there was the other things. Am I gonna have to stand up to show you? Am I? That would suck. I think I will have to stand up to show you. Okay, so that's kind of like the top half, and then we have the bottom half as well. I got the border done on the side as well. So now all I gotta do is the border down the bottom, and then the border up the other side, and then I'm done. That time cannot come quick enough. I'm a very impatient person. I start things and then I'm like, why did I fucking start this? Because I just want it finished now. If anybody saw me like through my window, I'm just standing in front of my window like, blanket! Getting a bit close to you guys now for a minute while I fix the chair. Another thing as well I wanted to talk about was Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. You all know I'm a massive Harry Potter fan. I mean, I have a Harry Potter tattoo and shit. But I got it the day it came out and I had it read in 2 days. There's been a lot of mixed reviews about it. Like, people are kind of not keen on the fact that it's written in the form of a script. The fact that it has stage directions and stuff. I liked it. I thought it was really different. I mean, obviously I know the book is kind of for the people that can't see the play. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to get the chance to see the play because it's in England, and I'm not going to England until March, and I don't think I won't get to see it. So like, the book was the next best thing for me. I enjoyed it. I thought it really was a good idea. I loved the characters in it. I loved their interaction with each other. I loved how Harry was portrayed in it. I loved that we got to learn a little bit about where everybody from the Harry Potter series were at now, like what they were doing now, and you know, what kind of jobs they had and what lives they were leading. I really loved that, and it was so weird reading about them being grown up and having jobs, because I grew up with the Harry Potter books. Like, I queued for the final book for the Deathly Hallows. I queued outside a bookshop for the midnight opening to get the book. I saw every movie from the Chamber of Secrets onwards in the cinema. And like, I feel like I grew up with Harry and Ron and Hermione, and like, when you're a kid and you read a book like that, they kind of become your friends. I mean, when you're young and you're reading a series, you can easily identify with the characters if they're around your age and if they share characteristics with you. So I kind of grew up with Harry Potter, and then it ended, and then for it to just come back so abruptly with the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, picking up that book again, picking up a new Harry Potter book in my hands and reading it, and reading that, like, you know, Harry, Hermione and Ron, they're all grown-ups, they all had kids and they all had jobs. It was so weird that I could still relate to them, because like, I have a job and shit like that, and you know, I'm learning how to navigate the fucking grown-up world. I think I'm doing okay at it. But reading about them being grown-ups, it was just really weird, and I could identify with it. I feel like a few of the characters weren't fleshed out enough, and I feel like the storyline felt a bit rushed. I think they could have made the book a bit bigger, a bit thicker. They probably could have made it around the size of the Deathly Hallows. They could have made it like that thick, and that would have given them a chance to properly flesh out the story and include the smaller details and, you know, fatten the story up a bit. But, you know, all that being said, I still really enjoyed it and I loved it. Yeah, so something else that happened this week that was kind of funny was my brother is starting to get into music. I really love music. Now, I don't mean like, oh, I keep up with the charts. To be honest with you, I don't think I could name 5 songs from the top 10 at the moment. I don't keep up with the charts and, you know, current stuff that much. But I really love music. I'm really passionate about it, and I have a few bands that I just... Like with Harry Potter, I grew up with them, so they kind of have a place in my heart and they have a place in my story. So my brother came to me and he asked me, do you know any bands or any songs or anything that I could listen to? Because he's at the age now where he's starting to properly listen to music. So I was like, first of all, I'm honoured that you've come to me. Second of all, you made the right decision coming to me, because my dad was currently, like, at that moment, he was sitting in his room listening to the Mariah Carey and Justin Bieber version of All I Want for Christmas Is You. Yeah, it's September. He was listening to Christmas music. And then he moved from that onto the fucking Pogues, Fairy Tale in New York. So my dad's taste in music is a bit strange, a bit questionable. The sun is doing the thing again where it comes out really bright and then just fucking disappears. If, you know, Ireland, hello, the sun isn't really used to doing its thing over here. It pops in and out every fucking few minutes. It's because we're not able for the sun. That's what it is. The sun comes out for a few minutes and it shines and it goes, you've had enough, I'll go away for a while now. Anyway, music. So he asked me about bands and shit. So I thought that I'd talk about a few bands and stuff that I love. So if you've been following my channel for any amount of time, you probably know that I love 30 Seconds to Mars. They're my all-time favourite band ever. And they have been since around the summertime of 2010. That's when I first discovered them. And I met them for the first time in December of 2010. I met them again then in 2011 and again in 2013. I think it was 2013. I dressed up as a leprechaun that time. They played Dublin and it was the first time I'd ever seen them live in Ireland, because the first time I had to fly to England to see them and the second time I had to fly to Germany. So the last time I saw them and met them was in Dublin, and I decided I'm going to go all out because, you know, Irish people are mad and exciting and eccentric. Well, let me just tell you something, no one else seemed to get that fucking memo. I turned up to the show dressed as a leprechaun and had to walk through Dublin City. People were looking at me. I was like, dude, what? I met them around this time of year, maybe a bit later, maybe like October, November. So all the Christmas stuff was out in shops. And I decided, okay, I'm going to dress as a fucking leprechaun, so I need like green stuff. So I got a green cardigan. I went to like an art and hobby shop and I bought a load of bells that jingle, and I got my mum to sew the bells onto all the buttons of the cardigan and onto the buttons on the side. Throw on a pair of green leggings as well. What am I going to wear on my feet? I didn't want to wear Converse, I didn't want to wear boots. Instead, I bought a pair of elf slippers from Penneys. Now, if you live in an area that has a Penneys or a Primark, you probably know the ones I'm on about. They're green, they're kind of foamy, and they have like red bits hanging out at the top of them with bells hanging off. Now, the red bits just wouldn't do because I was a leprechaun, so I cut off the red bits, and they just look like green boots. They were fucking cool. But yeah, I dressed up as a leprechaun for that show, and they found it hilarious. Jared thought I was an Irish elf, and because they did a question and answer at that show. And I was sitting up at the front, like we all sat down on the floor, and Mars came in and they stood at the top of the room. And they were asking questions, and I put up my hand and I asked a question. I asked them, was it possible that they'd ever collaborate with Linkin Park, because their styles are very similar and their backgrounds are kind of similar. And Jared was like, oh, you know, it's a great idea. Now, they did go on to tour after that. I think Linkin Park and Mars toured like last year. But wouldn't you know, they didn't bring their tour to fucking Ireland. They toured the US, Mars and Linkin Park together, but they didn't bring it over here. Fucking Ireland misses out on all the cool shit. So yeah, they're my favourite band of all time. I love them. Love them. I love My Chemical Romance as well, because I kind of discovered them at a time in my life when I needed that kind of music. I needed that kind of angsty, meaningful music, and I loved them. I saw them twice and they were incredible live, and it's like they've put a sticky note in my mind on that part of my life. I think I was like, how old was I? I was about 15, 16 when I got into them, and I've loved them ever since then, and my love for them has like stayed as like intense as it was. Like I mentioned a minute ago, I love Linkin Park. I grew up with Linkin Park because my mum is a massive Linkin Park fan. She's never strayed from them. Do you know the way a lot of people like change their favourite band like a lot? She never has. It has just always been Linkin Park for her. So I grew up in a house with Linkin Park, and kind of music like that was playing all the time, so I naturally grew to love rock music. But that being said, I love pop music as well. I love a bit of Taylor Swift. I like Little Mix. I like fun, easy to listen to music like that. I love One Direction. I said that in one video before, and a lot of you guys started teasing me. They were like, what? One Direction? Yeah! Fuck it! I'm a girl. I like pop music. I like girly, lovey-dovey pop songs, and not many boy bands do better lovey-dovey pop songs than One Direction. That was a mouthful to say. And I was actually lucky enough to get to meet One Direction a few years ago, and I can honestly say that they are lovely, lovely lads. Still not over the fact that they broke up though, so let's just move swiftly on away from this topic. I really enjoy New Kids on the Block as well, while we're talking about boy bands. My mum introduced me to them because I went through a mad Backstreet Boys phase when I was younger. I was like 13 or 14 maybe? Yeah, I wasn't. I was a bit older than that. But I went through a mad Backstreet Boys phase. And my mum was like, no. The boy band you need to listen to is New Kids on the Block. And I really bought into it. I fucking loved it. And they're still going. Like, New Kids are still making music. They're still making albums. They're still touring. I went to see NKOTBSB with my mum. That was, it was a tour that New Kids and Backstreet Boys did together. And it was like a party. It was like the biggest fucking party that you've ever been to, and it was an awesome night. I had a bit of money saved up at the time, and I was like, do you know what, fuck it, let's just go full on. So I got meet and greet tickets for myself and my mum, and she cried when I gave her the tickets. And I was like, you need to let your inner child out. Like, this is a night for younger you. This is a night for 9-year-old you. Live the dream that you never got to live when you were younger. And it was an incredible night. It was an incredible experience. Donnie Wahlberg is one of the sweetest human beings on this planet. And I mean that. I mean, like, a lot of the time with bands, especially with boy bands, because they're so, like, sugary sweet and they're so nice on their records and in interviews, they can sometimes be different in real life. Donnie Wahlberg is such a sweet man. We met them again, like, 2 or 3 years ago, I think. I just got really nervous around Donnie. I don't know why, like, because they're not my band. I mean, I liked them, but my mum loved them when she was younger. So it was like a night for her, but when I got to Donnie, I got really nervous. And he gave me the biggest hug, and he was just so sweet to me. And I was like, I don't know why I'm so nervous, I'm sorry. And then after the photo, we got a photo taken. It was the 5 lads from New Kids on the Block, me, my mum, and then I think there was 6 other girls. After the photo was taken, Donnie pulled me back and took a picture with just me. And he was just like, are you okay? I'm that kind of person. I can freak out internally and be totally fine on the outside. I was like, yeah, I'm grand, thank you very much. Can't wait to see the show. Thank you for being so kind. And inside I was just like a weeping mess. I was crying. That was incredible. So I do like pop music. I enjoy pop music a lot. But I love heavier stuff. Like, I love Biffy Clyro. They're a Scottish rock band. If you haven't heard of them and you like rock music, you need to look them up. I love The Neighbourhood as well. They're a really chill, easy to listen to band. I love... what else do I like? I'm just going to go through my fucking music. Oh yeah, McFly, I love them. I love Halsey or Halsey or however you say her name. I love her. I think she's an incredibly talented lady. I like a bit of Panic at the Disco, their newer stuff. I'm not really mad on their old stuff, like I Write Sins Not Tragedies. I didn't like them when that was new. Like when that song was new I was like, the fuck? No. But I love their new stuff. Oh yeah, All Time Low. I really love All Time Low. I saw them at Oxygen Festival. I don't know if I told the story already, but I saw them at Oxygen Festival about 4 years ago. And Jack, the guitar player, and Alex, who's the lead singer, they got down into the crowd and they stood up on the barriers and sang to the crowd. And when Jack came down, he stood right in front of me, and I was like, sweet mother of Jesus, he's going to stand up on the barrier in front of me. But he needed help getting up, because you can't just jump up on a fucking metal barrier. So he grabbed onto my hand and I pulled him up. And he stood there, like his kneecap was practically in my face. I was like, you are really close to me, mister. But it was fucking, the atmosphere at that show was, oh, it was insane. That day actually it was a really good lineup. There was The Blackout, also a very good band. There was All Time Low, and there was My Chemical Romance, all on the one day on the one stage. It was a fucking incredible lineup. I like a little bit of Lana Del Rey, but I don't really like the message she puts across. Again, she's a very talented lady, good for her, but like all of her songs are about like needing a man and letting your fella be your life, and I'm not about that life at all. I'm like, no, thank you. So I don't really like the message she puts across. But she does have a load of really good songs, like Young and Beautiful is a gorgeous song. I like the song Music to Watch Boys To as well. That's a Lana Del Rey song, it's a really good song. She has one of those, do you know sirens? Not like on a fucking squad car now, like a neo, not like one of them. Like a siren, like mermaids, like there's an ancient myth that mermaids used to lure sailors to their deaths by singing to them. She has a voice like that. Her voice is just so hypnotic. You listen to it and you're just like instantly relaxed. I just compared Lana Del Rey to a fucking mermaid. These videos get weirder every single week, don't they? I loved McFly as well, and I loved them a lot when I was growing up. And a funny story is, I went to see them live 3 times. If you haven't guessed by now, I'm big into fucking concerts. I've seen pretty much everyone live at some stage. Now, I went to the Hammersmith Apollo show back in 2009. We queued from like 10 o'clock in the morning until like 6 o'clock in the evening just to make sure that we got up the front. And I go to most concerts with my mother. I either go by myself or I go with my mum, because music to me is a very personal experience. I don't really like going to shows with, you know, friends or like boyfriends or anything like that. I don't want to attach that band or that song to somebody, if you get what I mean, unless I know they're going to be around forever. Music is very personal to me. There's no other way to put it really. But I go to pretty much every show with my mother. I don't mind sharing the experience with her, if that makes sense. Or I either go with her or I go by myself. We went to the Hammersmith Apollo show back in 2009, and they were having a competition at the time to see what pizza delivery service was the fastest. So every night when they played a different venue, they'd ring a different pizza company and order a pizza and then time it. So when I was there, they ordered a pizza from Domino's. They timed it, and then the pizza man walked on stage like 20 minutes later with the pizza, and Dougie, the bass player, was like fucking taking the pizza out of the box and throwing slices around. He threw the whole pizza into the crowd and it narrowly missed my head. I was like, thank fuck that didn't hit me. But then he threw the pizza box into the crowd, and I was very timid at the time, so like I wouldn't go for it. I wouldn't go and try and grab it. I was like, no, I can't do that. Let someone else take it. What I didn't know was my mother had grabbed it. My mum was beside me. And Dougie at that stage was my favourite from the group. He is such a little weirdo, and I like strange people. So I was loving him at that point in time. And my mum just fucking, I just saw my mother's arm go out, grab the box, and she had it in her hand, and the girl next to her just tried to take it off her. Like, my mum had it. She was like, look, I caught it for you. And the girl next to her tried to grab it off of her. I was like, dude, are you serious? So she ripped a big chunk out of the box. But I'll try and get I have the box on a shelf. Yes, I kept the pizza box. It's Dougie's pizza box. I'm sounding really sad in this video. It's just to prove to you that I'm not lying. I have the pizza box. It's really dusty. Ugh. But what? There's nothing in it, like it's clean. Where's the sticker? There's a sticker down there. It's getting really faded because this pizza box, 2009. Jesus, that's 7 years old? It's been 7 years since that show. There's the date, the time, and instructions to the pizza delivery man. It says go around the back at London Hammersmith Apollo. That's so cool. Now if you guys want to read it, you can just pause it there, but I can't keep my hands still. That's just a really cool keepsake, and it's such a funny memory. Some of the best memories I have are from concerts and from weird shit that I've done for bands. Like, my mum has met Linkin Park. Like, she's a member of like the fan club, the online website or something, and meeting them is free if you go about it a certain way. But one time my mum got 2 meet and greet passes and she gave me one of them. So I met Linkin Park when I was 11 years old. I was 11 and I met them. They were the first band that I ever met that really had a big impact on me. Like, Linkin Park, to me, it's like home. It's so relaxing. I know that they're quite a heavy band and they're a rock band, but to me it's comforting to listen to them because I grew up with them, and I've travelled all over the fucking world with my mum to see them. Like, we saw them in Madison Square Garden as well. We were front row in Madison Square Garden. We had a holiday booked for New York, and we found out that Linkin Park were playing the same time. I was like, I don't know, I'm not really pushed. So my mum got 1 ticket for herself, and when we got there and we were in the hotel, I was like, Mum, I really want to see them. And she was like, I don't have a ticket for you. And I was like, can we go to the venue and try and get a ticket? So we went to Madison Square Garden. We were there all day long, from about 12 o'clock in the morning until about 6 or 7 at night. Our hotel was really near the venue, so my mum kept going from our hotel to the venue, back to the hotel, back to the venue to ask again. Because usually on the day of a show, if any tickets free up, they'll put them on sale. So my mum was waiting to hear back, like, is there 2 tickets, 2 seated tickets together anywhere in the venue? It doesn't matter where they are as long as we're together. She ended up getting 2 tickets and we weren't told where they were. My mum just handed the tickets. We went into the venue and we went up to a steward and we were like, can you help us find our seats? And we were expecting to go up in the back, way away from the stage. But the steward kept bringing us down, 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 down steps. And we ended up being first row and seated, level with the stage. It was literally the best seats in the house that you could have gotten. The 2 of us just started like tearing up at our luck, at how it had worked out. I'll try and insert some pictures of that as I'm talking for you guys. Jay-Z actually came out on stage with Linkin Park that night as well, but I'm not a big Jay-Z fan. But yeah, we've done like mad shit. I queued in the snow for 30 seconds to Mars with no jacket. I went over in December 1st to meet them, like a few years ago, and there was like a really bad snowstorm. I was wearing, literally, it was like, I had like a vest on and I had a short sleeved leather jacket. Like, the sleeves weren't longer than this, and I was out in the snow queuing in that jacket. Got a touch of pleurisy when I came home, but it was worth it because the experience was just beautiful. I got wicked sunburn when I went to see Taylor Swift. I went to see Taylor Swift around the time of my birthday last year, and I went by myself and I queued outside the venue from like 10 o'clock in the morning to make sure I got near the front. I was wearing a, what are they called, a skinny stringed vest and no sunblock. I thought, well, it'll be fine and I'll just go a little bit red maybe and I won't be in the sun. I was fucking wrong. I got sunburned so bad I couldn't lift my fucking arms. I had the tan line from my vest for months afterwards. So music is just very important to me, and it's the experiences that come along with it, the memories that I have of certain bands and certain songs and certain concerts I went to. Lately then, I've really gotten into 21 Pilots. I've always been aware of them. I mean, you know, Car Radio and Lane Boy were massive when they first came out, and then Heathens came out, and that song is just everywhere at the moment. But I started listening to them properly recently, like digging back through their songs, listening to like album songs, not just singles that have videos. And they remind me a lot of Linkin Park and of My Chemical Romance and of bands that I grew up with. Because they sing about stuff that matters. They sing about life and darker sides of yourself and things that you're going through and insecurities that you might have. And I've really connected with them. When it comes to music, I have to connect with the words. That's why I hate dance music. I hate, what's it called, like house music or club music. I hate club music. I can't listen to it because it's all fucking noise and no substance or like meaning behind it. Now, I'm not like knocking that kind of music. I know a lot of people love that kind of music, but I'm not a person that goes out to pubs. I don't go to clubs like ever. So club music and stuff like that to me is just, it's just noise and I don't like it. And I find that the more 21 Pilots songs I listen to, the more I'm kind of going, Jesus Christ, these 2 fellas are fucking geniuses. I've been watching a lot of live videos as well that they've done, like clips of them live. They're so energetic. There's only 2 fellas in the fucking group and they're so energetic and they're so unique Like, I've never seen anything like them. They do a thing where they bring Josh's drum kit out into the crowd. They've like a giant plank of wood, and they like they've nailed half a drum kit or something to this plank of wood. They pass the plank of wood off the stage into the crowd, and the crowd hold up this plank of wood with the drum kit, and Josh comes off the stage, gets on it and drums. You know the way sometimes lead singers crowd surf, or they get into the crowd and they sing? You never see the drummer do that, but Josh Dunn from 21 Pilots does that. They're so incredibly weird and wacky and different. But they're the kind of band that you listen to, you'll either love them or you'll hate them. Like, you'll either get them or they're just not for you. And I found that they really are for me. And it's so good to listen to a band or to listen to a group that sings about stuff that means something. Do you know, because music nowadays, it's all about like twerking and fucking having a hot body and stupid meaningless shit. Now, don't get me wrong, I love pop music. I really do. Like, I love pop music as much as the next person. But discovering a song that is such strong lyrics that make you think, like, they have a song called Ode to Sleep, and it has real, like, old school Linkin Park vibes, and like, Tyler kind of sounds a little bit like Gerard Way, but not really, if you get what I mean. It would remind you of like My Chemical Romance in Linkin Park, but at the same time, the music is like nothing you've ever heard before, so they're just fucking insane. And I'm loving Heavy Dirty Soul as well. That song is a mind fuck and a half. It's amazing. And again, there's a lot of people asking me about American Horror Story. I'm not going to be watching that because I don't know, I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling the last few seasons, so that's a no from me. I have started watching a show called Luther. It's by the BBC and it's on Netflix. It's an incredible show. It's like a detective show set in England, and it's really good. I love that at the moment. I'm really loving that. I'm nearly finished Gossip Girl as well. I'm nearly finished season 5, but with Gossip Girl, it's been finished, like, it's been off air for a while, so I decided there's one couple in particular in the show that I like, and I was like, I need to know if they get together. So I googled it, and they do. So I'm just kind of watching now until I get to that stage, till I see them get together and I see everything be happy. I'm loving Fear at the moment as well. I think Fear the Walking Dead is really picking up, and it's improving with each episode that passes. I mean, when it started off, it was just like a Walking Dead spin-off, and everyone was like, oh, it's not The Walking Dead. It's not The Walking Dead, and it never will be. You just gotta accept it for what it is. It's a show set in the same universe but with different characters and storylines. I'm really enjoying it at the moment though. Madison is doing my head in because I can see it from her point of view, but I can also see it from Alicia's point of view, and I'm like, I don't know what side to take. It is 4 weeks until The Walking Dead comes back. Feels like I've been counting down for fucking years. But yes, I think that's all that I wanted to say this week. I know I talked a lot about music, but music is the biggest thing in my life by far, and I just wanted to share some bands that I love with you guys at the moment. Like I said, I'm loving 21 Pilots at the moment, but you know the way you start listening to a band and you just know from the first moment that you hear them that you're going to love them and that you're going to be in it for the long haul with them. Well, that has happened to me. But I think that is all for now, because my brain is a little bit burnt out. I'm kind of tired. I might get an early night tonight. So the question that I want to leave for you guys this week, I haven't even thought of a question yet. The question that I'm going to ask you guys is, what is your favourite smell or your favourite scent? I suffer really badly with migraines. My favourite smell is vanilla, but even that smell is too strong for me. Like, if I light a vanilla scented candle, I'll get a migraine. The smell will trigger my headache and I literally won't be able to get out of bed with the pain in my head. I like lavendery smells, and I can generally wear perfumes that kind of smell lavendery, as long as I don't wear too much of them. Any hairspray I have and stuff has to be unscented because, you know, the headaches and stuff, and it really sucks. But I wanted to know what, you know, kind of scents do you guys like? That sounds like sense. No, like scents with a T. It's losing its meaning now, I'm saying it too much. What smells do you guys like? I just generally tend to stick to kind of clean, showery kind of smells. Oh my gosh! Jesus, phone! Fucking hell. Nearly had a heart attack. My phone went off there and scared the shit out of me. But yeah, Britney Spears and Rihanna, and any celebrity that has a perfume, they all just smell like sweets or like candy floss. And I know a lot of people love that, but I never really liked that kind of stuff, and I can't use any of them anyway, so. So that is all for this week, you guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you all soon. I'll talk to you all Monday, actually, for the Fear reaction.